Everybody know what happened to Derek Carr. Contemplating off-season surgery. Could put him out for a substantial amount of time. So I'm sure if you've been keeping up with NFL news, then you see like most people predicting Shador to go to the Saints at 9, right? Mm-hmm. Dion has even made some, he said some things via Twitter, quoting some tweets and things like that. You had a very hot take with the Saints last year. That was at one point you thought they were the best team in the NFL based on their first couple of games. How big of a threat do you think they will be to the Carolina Panthers should they draft Shador at 9 and he goes into the season as their starting or a quarterback with the weapons that they have around them, being that all of them are healthy? Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Jawan Johnson, Alvin Kamara, guys like that. How big of a threat do you think they are to the Carolina Panthers and the NFC South in particular? And if all of those guys are healthy, I know you're high on Shador. I think you think he's a good quarterback. Okay, well.
He's serviceable.
Yeah, all right. So based on that.
Do I believe? So then before you even go any further, I'm going to ask you a question. And it's kind of rhetorical. Do I believe that Shador can outduel Bryce? And the answer is going to be fuck no.
Well, also, you want to add the context of it being Kellen Moore's system.
Yes. They do have Kellen Moore.
Now, that would give me a little cause for pause. But, I don't think that – I'll just be honest just about my feelings regarding Shador. I think that he's, like I said, I think he's a serviceable quarterback. I don't think really that there's any quarterback right now in this draft that is going to be able to catapult a franchise into being a threat at automatically being a playoff team.
You think Jaden Daniels was that quarterback? I didn't, personally, and I don't think a lot of other people did.
Who came out with Jaden Daniels? What quarterbacks came out last year?
Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Spencer Rattler, Bo Nix, Michael Penix.
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember.
Regardless of who came out with him last year, did you think – I don't think anybody thought that Jaden Daniels would have the season that he did.
To a certain degree, I did. Because how long was I hollering about Washington winning that division?
I mean, but I don't think that was solely based on the fact that Jaden Daniels. It was more so of like their defense, Dan Quinn.
Yeah, it was about the team. I don't think – all of that being said, to answer your question directly, I don't – the Saints don't scare me, bro. Like, honestly. They don't scare me. I think that last year I believe they showed us who they really are. Obviously, they dealt with a lot of injuries and stuff like that. Cool. I believe Shador, like I said, I believe he's a serviceable quarterback. I think he thrives in specific systems. I believe.
What the hell are you looking at?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know.
It's a bug. It's a bug.
That shit was just throwing me off, bro.
No, you're right, bro, because he was like looking like he was damn near having a seizure, nigga. Like, are you okay?
No, bro, it's just a bug. I just wanted to get it out because I don't need no shit in here.
I don't even see it.
Yeah, it's small. It was like really hard to notice, but then I kept seeing something move.
Is he all right? Are you delirious?
I think it's right. Yeah, I mean, it's really small, bro. Like, y'all.
Oh, okay.
I can see is it there?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Speck moving. I just don't, I just feel like every time I see a bug, bro, I just think like it has babies and it's going to lay fucking eggs.
If you smash the motherfucker, then the babies that's why they say you're never supposed to kill like a roach or some kind of water ball with like your shoe, because if you smash it and it does have babies, like.
They're going to scatter.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I would just, new crib, I just wanted to keep it P. That's all.
Okay.
My fault. I'm back.
No problem. I was gonna say something wild right there, but I'm just not. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna put us at risk this early in the year.
No, the shit don't scare me. No, it's a fucking tiny ass bug.
I wasn't gonna say anything of the sort. Not even remotely close. But the Saints, if they draft Shador, okay. So let me ask you a counter question. Would you be willing to trade with the Saints? Make them come up a pick? I will almost, if I'm the Carolina Panthers, I will almost drop my dick and literally tell them, y'all want Shador? Okay, no problem. Y'all have to come through us. And as a matter of fact, we're not going to give you the pick. We're going to draft Shador ourselves. Or that's too much.
No, that's
entirely too much.
Yeah,
that's too much.
That's dumb as hell.
That's not even feasible.
Oh, no, it is. It's very feasible. It's very feasible. It's very feasible.
Shador at 9?
Yeah.
Nigga, we will fucking.
No,
we
no, no,
would
at
get
8.
The internet would
We would
fucking,
get canceled.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we would.
Yeah, we would get
We
canceled.
would.
I
Oh my
would
God, I
make
would
sure
lose.
myself that we got canceled. For sure. We would get canceled.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It would be
But-
it would be over with.
That is a conversation that I would have with the Saints. Like, hey, because they know we're not going to take Shador.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, so it's almost
So
like they
it's
don't
like
even
they
need
wouldn't
to.
need to move up.
Yeah, they wouldn't even really necessarily
Well, I
need to
mean,
move up.
It's nothing wrong with playing with their minds.
Yeah,
You know,
I feel
because
like
it's nothing to leak. It's nothing to send a text message to somebody and say, put this out on X.
the same way with bitch ass Milton Williams.
Yeah,
So
precisely. So then the organization should have learned something from that situation. Perfect. The nigga taught him something.
I feel like they're more of a sleeper, honestly, to go after Tet. Especially
been
with
seeing that.
with the question marks about like Chris Olave, not really. I heard that they're trying to shop him. There's been a lot of rumors about them trying to potentially shop him to New England, because New England is looking to pair Drake May up with a more established wide receiver. They're kind of probably a little sick of his injury history.
Even with Diggs, is that still a thing?
Yeah, I mean,
With
yeah,
the-
They don't really
Diggs.
have. Like, who else do they have?
Diggs,
They got the
and then
nigga last year. They got the young boy
both
out
of them
last
were
year.
fucking trash.
Yeah,
Polk.
but yeah, he
And
ain't
who was
been.
the other guy?
Javon Baker. He ain't been on
Yeah.
shit. Jalen Polk ain't. Yeah, I mean, some of them are gonna get shipped out anyway. But I mean, your team doesn't move without a quarterback. So it's like,
but then there was also the news coming out of the Saints camp that they're pretty high on Spencer Rattler and they think they have something in him. They liked what they saw from him enough last year. I mean, you can say that all you want, but like, nigga, you're not in their front office making the decision. So if their front office likes him,
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go on record right now and say the Saints will finish 4th in the NFC South. I don't give a fuck who their
and
quarterback is.
I don't think that they're gonna. I doubt they're gonna bank on Spencer Rattler. I don't.
I
know.
think they're gonna go Shador if he's available.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody in the front office feels that way. You said I'm not in the front office. I just damn near find it hard to believe anybody in that bitch feels that way, especially with Shador dropping that far down the board.
yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Who is even in? And let me go look at the board, bro. Because I mean, it is time, right? What are we, 2 weeks away? Oh, speaking of that, we're gonna be doing a live stream. Maybe just for the first round.
Yeah, it would be hard to do because when are the other rounds?
The following
The
days.
following days, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
And they happen in the middle of the day, right?
Yeah, I
The-
think on
the
Saturday, it
Saturday
does.
one
But
does.
I mean, honestly, the stream will really pop. The stream will really pop on day 2. Because I'm pretty sure that's the day that we have like fucking 7 picks, if I'm not mistaken, or 6 picks or something like that. But we're definitely gonna do something for the first round since we're top 10. Now, if we move back, then I actually genuinely do believe that we move back, and we're gonna have that conversation and dive a little bit deeper into that as well here in just a second. But I want to see what the draft order is because I don't know it off the top of my head.
What do you mean? Like where teams are picking?
Yes.
Tennessee,
Like
is
I want to know what the
Tennessee,
first 7 picks
Cleveland,
are.
Tennessee, Cleveland.
It's okay.
Who's
I'm about
at
to pull it
3?
up.
Patriots.
Patriots are
They're
at
not
4.
3. Giants are at 3.
Giants.
Tennessee, Cleveland, Giants, Patriots, Jags, Raiders, Jets, Panthers. I don't know if Shador will be available, bro. Didn't we talk about that last week about him potentially going to Vegas? And who the fuck is the Jets quarterback?
Justin Fields.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, we did talk about the possibility of him going to Vegas. That's when you dismissed the fact
Maybe he
that Tom
could.
Brady was his mentor and trainer.
Yeah, because
But-
you were trying to tell me that Shador was a better prospect than fucking Genty, and I was just like, why the fuck would
I
that
did
be
not.
the case?
No.
No, that's what actually.
No.
Actually, that's how that conversation went.
that
That's
shit
exactly
did
how
not
that
go like
conversation
That
went.
shit was. I said it would be more. I said the Raiders would be more likely to draft Shador because they do need a quarterback, and you said they got Geno.
Yeah, they have Geno with Pete Carroll. Yeah,
Well, how did you just try to make the argument that the Saints would bank on Spencer Rattler?
What do you mean? How? That's what they said. That was from the Saints front office. I'm not saying
that was last year though, wasn't it?
What I said?
Yeah,
I said
about
Spencer
Rattler.
Rattler. Yeah.
That was last year,
Yeah.
and then he got his dick put in the dirt. this past season.
I mean, that
so
was
like,
a fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, we all make bad takes. We all have bad takes.
Yeah, and
That
you
was
was
a
the
bad
one.
take.
he was
You was the
sucking them
one.
up. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
you
he
was the
letting
one that said
Spencer
that.
Rattler throat fuck him.
said-
I mean, it was embarrassing.
that
It was
Spencer
was
Rattler
sad,
would be
bro.
the best QB prospect out of that draft.
Yeah, it was.
I
You
said he
made
had a
that.
chance.
No,
I said
nigga,
he had a chance.
no,
No,
nigga.
no,
You
nigga.
made
That
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 was
deal
my
that you
that was
created
my
and
hot
died
take.
on.
It was my hot
You
take.
made
All
that
right,
statement.
it was a
and
hot
that's
take
why
for
you
a
just
reason.
tried to get that bullshit off about their front office because I just damn near need to see that is in writing.
Yeah,
because I just
because he
don't
got his
believe-
dick. Like I said, he got his dick put in the dirt last season,
And
bro.
I
It was
think
bad.
based off his last couple games, I don't know anybody in that front office who would say, "Yeah, we're gonna roll with Spencer." and if they do, they need to be fucking fired.
I mean, the simple fact of the matter is, bro, this is what I like genuinely believe as it pertains to the Carolina Panthers. For one, to answer your question, because I like the way that you started it, I don't think that even if they do draft Shador, I think he's a good quarterback. I wish him nothing but success, unless he goes in division, of course. But even if he does go to the Saints, I don't believe that it changes anything as it pertains to the grand scheme of things for the division. I still genuinely believe that the Saints finish fourth. I don't think that as an overall team, the Saints are better than Atlanta because Atlanta made some good pickups this offseason. The Saints did too, which I'll give them credit for. But they're not Atlanta. They're not beating Atlanta twice. They're just simply not doing it. They're damn sure not beating Tampa Bay twice. It's just not happening, which I still believe, like, as time has gone on, I know my expectations for the Panthers are high, but I still would say the Buccaneers are still number one, preseason number one to win the NFC South. And I think that the Carolina Panthers are going to be a lot better than they were last year when they won 5 or 6 football games.
Can they get us twice?
New Orleans? No. They didn't even get us twice last year. And we were dog shit. Had the worst defense in NFL history. They couldn't even get us twice last year. So absolutely not. Not with the additions that we've made and then what we're going to do in the draft. No. Nope, they can't get us twice. They can't get Tampa. I don't know if they can get Tampa once. I don't know if they can get Tampa once, to be honest. I'm going to go ahead and go on record, too. The Saints might win 4 or 5 ball games next year, no matter who their quarterback is. That's how I feel. I think they're ass. But, I mean, maybe Juan will convince me otherwise once we,
Or bro that you had on there.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he did tell me what was going to happen week 1. And we never circled back, unfortunately, for me to get my lick back after we won. What was that, like week 11 or 12 or something like that when I was in Atlanta for the Dallas game, Dallas in Atlanta?
Yeah, I still see Saints fans posting about the 0-2 Saints and how great that they felt and how great that team was.
Oh, yeah, I came on here talking crazy.
Yeah,
I thought they were Super Bowl
2-0
bound.
Saints. My fault. 2-0, not 0-2.
Yeah, I thought they were Super Bowl bound. But, boy, was I fucking sadly mistaken. I forgot who their quarterback
You and
was.
all the Saints fans.
Yeah, I mean, you made comments off of, like, emotion a lot, way too much. And it's just like...
Were they putting dick in niggas yes or no? Were they putting dick in niggas yes or no?
For 2 weeks.
It was
And we
over.
turned out we wasn't shit.
And
Dallas wasn't shit. So, yeah, cool. I mean, yeah. They beat 2 bad teams bad. That's what the fuck you supposed to do.
And then they
You're
put
right.
a lot of plays on tape, and then people started figuring out Kubiak's little scheme or whoever their coach is. Yeah,
And they were gassed up
and
off
it
that
was,
nigga, too.
It was raps. Pack it up, send it home, send it back to NOLA.
Let's have the actual conversation about how far you're willing, because I think that we touched on it a little bit last week, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into it. This past week on Twitter, like, it was a big thing that the Pittsburgh Steelers are high on Shador, right? We just had a conversation about Shador. And if the Steelers are as high on Shador that the rumors are saying they are, and you have the Saints sitting at 9, right? It would only make logical sense for the Steelers, if they're that high, thinking that he's going to be the franchise guy, for them
Move
to
up
trade
to
with
8.
us.
Yeah.
To move up at 8. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're sitting at 21.
Yep, they are.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting at 21. Would you be willing to make that deal?
What's the deal? Yeah, I mean,
They're going to have to add a piece.
Yeah.
And I'm coming up here to be a little irrational.
Okay.
TJ. They got to add. They got to add a piece.
They're not doing that. That's simply just not them.
Why?
Based off of what they said this week, because contract talks were going really poorly with
Exactly.
TJ.
Yes.
But they've turned the corner, and apparently
Per
contract talks. I don't mean
per the streets, right?
Yeah, per the streets, the contract talks have turned the corner, and they're on a much better note now. And probably they're going to get the deal done soon because they're going to want TJ done prior to Micah being done. So,
yeah, that's probably in their best interest, actually.
And so they're going to.
Okay.
Okay, what?
What about George?
George.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'll go ahead and give my answer. If they're offering George Pickens, and they're offering
a first
round swap this year, so we'll get 21. Obviously, conversations don't even begin without that.
What about a first and their second this year as well?
Oh yeah,
with George Pickens.
First, second, George.
Submit it. Absolutely. But I don't think it would be that. I don't think that it would be that hefty.
First and a second next year?
I think that it would be a third, fourth, or fifth this year to go along, if we're talking about Pickens, to go along with Pickens, the first round swap, and then maybe a second next year.
Well, I would still do it because if you get Pickens,
yes,
and then a lot of mocks have Mike Green going like 21, 22 in that range.
There's some names.
I've also seen James Pierce. He's falling back to like 16, 17 in that range.
In the 20s,
so,
you get into Donovan Azaraku.
Yeah.
Azaraku, because I'm not going to lie. After you gassed him up last week, I started doing a little digging. Yeah, I'm willing. I'm accepting all phone calls. Nigga.
Yeah.
We don't need to be at 8.
Yeah,
we don't. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Panther Nation, just listen to me. We don't need to be at 8. As many, I know that y'all are sucking a lot of dick right now, right? And I just want to come in here and put y'all's mind at ease because this is coming from a nigga. Actually, let me not even go down that path. But I'm just gonna tell y'all this is coming from a nigga that has. More or less. I'm just telling y'all right now that the way that y'all are y'all hands and knees right now, it just makes no sense. That's number one. Number two, there's nobody that should have y'all like that in the range that we're drafting. Nobody. Not Jalen, not Michael. God forbid we get Michael. I mean, I'm not going to hold you. I know, but I just need to re-emphasize it. And if I'm wrong, listen, I will die on the hill. If that nigga gets drafted by another team or us and he turns out to be a demon, I'm going to be the first one in the fan shop in BOA to get a jersey. I'll just say that. If I'm wrong, I'll stand on it. I just think he's a fucking bum. So the way that y'all on y'all hands and knees behind Jalen, Michael, Mason, newsflash, Mason is not going to be there. Hate to tell y'all. It's just not going to happen. He's not. And if he is, cool. Maybe the trade talks, we slow him down for a second, we have a conversation, and then we still decide to trade back. There's nobody at all in our range, based on what the mocks are telling us, that we should be willing to just sit at 8 for. Because this draft, like my producer said last week, it's a yeah-but draft. It's a yeah-but draft. Everybody has their pros and cons. It's just nasty, really. This draft is ass. It is very defense-heavy. I will say that. There are a lot of pass rushers. There are a lot of serviceable cornerbacks. I believe that we'll be able to garner a lot of depth in that particular room this draft. I think that if we want to go 2 or 3 pass rushers, and that's the approach we take, I think we can do that. Defensively, there's a lot of things that you can do. But there's really no game breakers in this draft. There's just simply not. Just simply not, bro. Like, I hate to tell y'all, but that's just the reality of this shit. Travis Abdul Genty. And we had the conversation about Genty last week, right? And I know that as well as my co-host, y'all would absolutely hate if the Carolina Panthers decide to make that decision at 8. And just based on team needs and things like that, it just doesn't really make logical sense for us to make that decision. So outside of those 3, those are the 3 guys that I have being like absolute game breakers. There's not really much that is going to change the trajectory of your team in totality. It's just simply not. And
well, there are, but you can get them later. There are
Ezeraku. Okay.
Donovan Ezeraku. I mean, I think Tet is still one of those guys that can definitely change the trajectory of your team. Yes. Tet has
it's
been
so difficult
Tet
for a
has been
receiver
elite
to do that, though.
Tet has been elite since he was coming out into Arizona. Tet is the highest rated prospect that Arizona's ever seen.
When's the last?
And then when he gets to Arizona, all he does is produce.
Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you saw a receiver change the trajectory of a team?
Justin Jefferson.
And then they had to add what? They had to add more behind Justin Jefferson. They had to go get Sam Darnold. And then they had to go get Jordan Addison.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had to go get
Not really, because
running back.
they had Kirk Cousins, and he was consistently getting them to the playoffs. Kirk Cousins ain't been shit in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But he did change the trajectory of the team.
Jamar Chase is another.
So, okay, all right. And I'm not just jumping out the window and saying that either.
You don't have to, because the year that Jamar Chase got drafted, they go to the fucking Super Bowl, and before that,
Joe Burrow came in that same year too.
Yeah,
or the year before.
He came in the year before.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, they had,
but they didn't take the leap until Jamar Chase got there. When Jamar Chase got there, they took the leap.
They had elite. T also
elite
on the other side. They had T on the other side.
I mean, yeah, that definitely helps. But if the Panthers, if Xavier Legette is who the front office and Dan Morgan and Dave Canales thinks and says he is, then y'all have a serviceable number two, and then who we all believe to be the true number two in Jalen Coker, and we think he's really good.
I think he's the number one right now.
You have you already have a guy that can be an elite number two.
I'm about to flip this whole over, nigga. I'm used to the carpet, nigga. It don't got that much slide on it.
Bro, these chairs don't even lean back the way they did on the carpet.
Oh, God, they do.
Because every time you lean back, them shit start rolling forward.
Yeah.
I can't lean back at all.
Yeah.
But you have that. You have elite pass rushers in this draft class. You have really solid, interior defensive linemen.
Game breakers.
You have You have
3.
You have
Travis Abdul-Ashton. That's it.
I think this...
In the top 10.
It's a but draft, but I think but you do have a lot of surprises as well, but they'll be a little bit later. They're guys that might be flying a little bit under the radar. And as we get into the conversation about particular prospects that we're looking at, I have a few that I have my eyes on that I think would be really, really good fits within the Carolina offense.
So with that being said, these are all guys that you can get from
it's a fucking gnat.
15 to about. I mean, your eyes are just impeccable. If you saw a gnat on the fucking, because I just saw it flying.
It's not there anymore.
No, it moved over there, but I just saw it flying around, and I was like, yeah, it's a fucking gnat.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
you can get any one of those guys that you're referencing from 15 to 28.
Absolutely. That's why I'm not saying that you shouldn't trade down. I think it is a great idea to trade down because of the level of prospect that you can get. So, I think where Carolina is at 8, I think you're at the very bottom tier of the elite prospects. You're at the end of the elite game breakers that you're speaking of. But you're at the start of the really good prospects. But I think the really good prospects list is so deep in this class because everybody's kind of muddled in that middle. Whereas in years past, you can clearly see a distinction between rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, day 1, day 2, day 3 prospects. This year, it's kind of like a day 3 prospect. You could make the argument for them to be a high-end day 2 prospect, and vice versa. You can make the argument that some day 1 prospects probably shouldn't be getting drafted until round 3, a la Amon Warrior from South Carolina. Really good traits, really good everything else, but the film would suggest he's more of a day.
Bullshit.
The film would suggest
he hates him.
Yeah,
he's sorry.
The film would suggest he's more of a day 3 pick, and I think that's where his range. I do think he's a 3. Mykel Williams. Mykel Williams is a 3rd rounder. He is a solid 3. He's a solid.
You're gonna get canceled for that take.
But
go ahead.
But it is y'all can do whatever y'all want. Y'all can cancel me, whatever. Mykel Williams is a solid 3rd round prospect. The fact that he's all the way up at fucking the top 10 is absolutely insane. So you have shit like this because there's a kid out of UCLA, edge rusher. I think he's better than Mykel Williams. But he has a 3rd round grade on everybody's big board.
Mykel Williams is ass.
So
I agree with that. Now him being a 3rd rounder, I think that's blasphemous.
Dylan, just make sure you got the camera right.
No, well, they can't, nigga, put the fucking edit and put the highlights and do whatever you need to do. Don't put it on me or Terrence, because we didn't say that. Michael Williams is ass. I will agree. He's not a third rounder.
I think so.
He's not what Panthers fans have gassed him up to be. Specifically, Dunk. I honestly blame Dunk for a lot of this bullshit. Dunk, I blame you for a lot of this shit as it pertains to Michael Williams, bro, because you were, like, honestly the first person that I saw riding that train, and I just don't see it. And I watched your video. Great content. Very insightful and informative. He's dog shit. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Michael Williams is not good, and like if the Panthers draft him, that would be very disappointing and underwhelming. If the Cowboys draft him, I'm jumping off the balcony because I hate Michael Williams as a prospect. Like again, I think he's a day 3 guy. Like I think I think Michael Williams is going to get to the NFL and he's going to be at best good. He's going to be at best good. At best,
not top 10 worthy.
He's going to be at best a number 2 edge. I think his ceiling is a number 2 edge rusher, opposite of an elite edge rusher.